Welcome to our fifth episode of Small Screen Cinema with Tabitha and Dad, where you're going to find the best in made-for-TV movies and sometimes the worst in made-for-TV movies. Um, we are going to do the movie The Last Dinosaur. Any movie with dinosaur in it is going to be cool. So I am so juiced for this. Tabitha, when did you watch this movie?
I watched this on Monday morning, I think.
Oh, so you've had like almost a week to just keep reliving it in your mind. And
Oh yeah, very lucky. Just
how are you
just
sleeping at night?
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm pacing the house just thinking about it.
Oh, yeah. So let's get started. If you want to watch The Last Dinosaur, and who doesn't, it was on net or YouTube, and then when I went to go find it, it was gone. Just clips of it. But you can, if you have Plex, and Plex is a free app, it is playing on Plex. What I did like about Plex is the quality is much better than YouTube, so you could actually see what it looked like back in 1977. So just go to Plex. If you don't have the app, download the app and watch it. It's great. This is a Japanese slash American movie. So little cooperation against two little countries that once had a little squabble back in the 1940s.
It was no big deal. It's fine.
It's yeah, it's not it's fine. It's fine. So the screenplay was by William Overgard, and he was born in 1926 and he passed away in 1990. And he is responsible for another TV movie called The Bermuda Depths and the theatrical release called The Bushido Blade. Now, the Bushido Blade is his collaboration with Japanese American type movies. So he has a history of doing these uh, Japanese American. I wish there was a better name to say this.
Co-production.
Co-production, good. It's co-production against two formerly adversarial countries. I think that works.
There you
Uh, it
go.
was it was directed by Alexander Gashoff, who passed away in 2008, and on the Japanese side by uh, Sugunabo Katani. I could not find any information on Katani, so I don't know if he's still living, if he's passed away. I don't know. So I know you're disappointed now, but don't turn off the podcast just because I could not find that. Um, the movie stars Richard Boone as Maston Thrust Jr. Now, I don't know what they did, if they just like had a bunch of names in a hat and Maston and Thrust and Jr., because there is absolutely no way there's anybody named Maston Thrust Jr. on the face of this earth. In fact, there is at least one more Vincent Opper on the face of this earth because I have Googled myself and there's some dude in Michigan with my very name, which is very odd because my name is not normal.
There's
Um,
another Tabitha Opper. I mean, I'm no longer an Opper, but there is another one where we were friends on Facebook. I think she might have gotten married too.
uh,
But still, we there were two of us for a minute there.
Everybody's trying to get rid of that last name. My sisters were so happy when they got married. Oh, we don't have the opera name anymore. So,
Yeah.
uh, Richard Boone, he was known for best known for the TV show Have Gun Will Travel, and also the Richard Boone Show, which was on in the '60s. And he did some movies like Big Jake and The Kremlin Letter. He was around for a long time. He was born in 1917 and he passed away in 1981. And watching this film, I think he's what, 60 years old at this time. He doesn't look good. And
You mean health wise, or that he's just ugly?
health wise,
Okay, because he is quite ugly.
beauty's in the eye of the beholder. I
It
mean,
sure is. And
yeah,
I
that's
behold the ugliness.
yes. We'll get into Richard Boone's character soon enough, Maston Thrust Jr. The film also stars Joan Van Ark as Frankie Banks. And Joan Van Ark is best known for the 1980s evening soap opera Knots Landing, which was a spinoff of Dallas, which I would watch Dallas, but I don't think I saw too much of Knots Landing.
I was watching the 2013 reboot sequel of Dallas a while ago, and she guest starred on a couple episodes, and she showed up at Sue Ellen's office. I don't know why this really made me laugh. She shows up and she doesn't even say hello. She just goes, "You bitch," and Sue Ellen's like, "Yes, it has been a long time." I always remember that.
Joan is still with us. She is 82 years old. And playing Chuck is Stephen Keats. He was born in 1945 and he passed away at the age of 49 in 1994. He is best known for the movies Death Wish and Black Sunday, both of which I recommend. They're pretty good. I mean, they're not Oscar winners, but they're pretty good. And Toru Kawai plays the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Do you know what he's famous for?
Godzilla?
He is the only actor to play both Godzilla and Gamera to show his
Nice.
acting versatility. I
Nice.
mean, was Gamera the turtle or the moth? No, Mothra was the moth.
No,
Gam-
the
was,
turtle was started with an A.
was
Which one?
Gamera the
Hold
one
on.
that did Fog?
Camera. Hold on. Hold on. Come on, you stupid phone.
By the way, while she looks that up, if you
Oh no,
notice,
you're right. I just
if you
dropped that.
notice, I have
No, you're
proof.
right. It's the turtle. I
Okay,
was wrong.
all right. So he played both Godzilla and Gamera the turtle. And I was just saying, if you notice, I have bruises. I am not a junkie. I took a nasty fall on the steps yesterday, but the biggest bruise is on my butt, and you're not going to see that one. We don't want to
That
be demonetized.
just blink twice if Kathy hits you.
Oh, the movie premiered on ABC February 11th, 1977, and it was intended to be a theatrical release, and it was in Japan. Um, but it kind of got made and then kind of got shelved. They didn't know what to do with it because well, you'll find out why they didn't know what to do with it. And so finally they said, oh, we'll just stick it on TV. It was up against Sonny and Cher, and this was before Sonny died. And it was also up against Executive Suite, The Rockford Files, and Quincy. I watched three of these shows. I've never even heard of Executive Suite. Have you?
No, I don't know that one.
Did you watch? Have you ever seen any of Sonny and Cher?
No.
It was a variety show. It was pretty good. It was hot. It was really hot.
Mm.
And how about the Rockford Files? I'm sure you've seen some of those.
I have seen the Rockford Files. My stepdad, big fan of the Rockford Files. So yes.
James Garner, one of the best characters ever in the Rockford Files.
But I
And
do love James Garner. So yeah.
have you seen Quincy?
I've not seen Quincy. No.
Oh, you'd love it. He's a one of those people that cut into dead people.
Killers? No, medical examiner.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he
Or
does
coroner, something like that.
coroner. Yeah, 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 yeah. So, and he was played by the ultra hunky Jack Klugman, by the way.
Oh, so hot.
So,
No, that honestly is on my list. I just haven't gotten to it yet.
yeah, Quincy was good. Jack Klugman was really good in that. So, let's get to the movie.
Oh, I do want to say, I definitely looked it up. I'm like, is he sure this is a TV movie? Because this is surprisingly high quality. So, yeah, I found out about all that too, that it was supposed to be, and then they just kind of dumped it on ABC.
Yeah,
And also, Rankin Bass. This is a Rankin Bass production. Did you notice that?
I did not notice that.
You know Rankin Bass, yes?
Don't they do like cartoons mostly, kid
They
shows?
all those Christmas specials, the Rudolph.
Yes,
Yeah, Santa's
yes.
coming to town. Yeah, I've not seen any live action work they've done, so I was just kind of surprised to see those names pop up.
Oh, I'm glad you noticed that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So we open with Maston Thrust Jr. Maston, I'll be calling him, played by Richard Boone. He is showing home movies of animals that he has killed on safari to a woman he is impressing with his money and his adventures. And that's how I always impress my women, with my money and my adventures. So I know that works. Uh, and he does mention that he wants to hunt the Loch Ness Monster, which is kind of funny, being we know that there's not one. As bad as I wanted there to be one, we found out that that was a huge hoax. Um, and he decides yeah, okay, I've shaded me, I'm going to leave. The problem is she is horny, okay? And trust me, it's not for Richard Boone's looks, it's for his money. So, but he's old, so he can't be horny that much.
This was before Viagra was invented,
Yes,
so
yes. So and the next scene, they're on his private jet, and there's the weirdest introduction song, "The Last Dinosaur," which makes me laugh.
I laughed so hard. I looked up the singer, Nancy Wilson. I hope she got paid good. She was they were acting like it was a Bond theme.
Yeah, 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 they were. And when I first read that it was Nancy Wilson, I had to look it up because I thought Nancy Wilson from Art,
Mm, different
but
one. Yeah.
no, different one. Um, but in this montage of all these press clippings as they're playing the opening song, you see that one clipping that Maston Thrush Jr. may be the richest man in the world, and he made his money, his family made their money from the oil industry. Very 70s.
Just like
Um,
Dallas.
yes, just like Dallas. So the credits are over, and we finish the song, the tearjerker song about the last dinosaur, and they get off of the jet, and then with all the compassion and love and sweetness in the world, he gives this lady a ticket to get back to wherever I found you. Get back to wherever I found you. Here's your ticket. Just get back to wherever I found you. And then he gives her a gold bullet of a token of his appreciation, I guess, for watching all of his kills, because certainly she did not get the big massive thrust. So,
Oh, yeah.
so anyway, uh, she's like, "What do I do with the gold bullet? I don't know, bite on it or something like that. Next time you're feeling bad." So she's suddenly out of the film. It's like, I hope she got paid well for that little part of being just completely dehumanized
Yeah.
by this old ugly man. By the way, I watched a clip on YouTube that showed actors today at the same age as actors just 30, 40, 50 years ago at the same age. And Richard Boone is 60 years old in this. He looks 75. And
Yeah.
there were so many actors and actresses that aged so much faster. And they were talking about, there's reasons. The diet used to be worse. Most everybody used to smoke. Um, it's just weird. I'm 59 and I'll be 60 next year if you couldn't add. He's the same age as I'm going to be next year. And he's got this ugly Jim Blossom nose, and it just looks terrible. Um, and Tabitha thinks he's ugly. He was a decent looking guy when he was younger. Have you seen pictures when he was younger?
Well, yeah, I've told you I had last week. I told you I was forced to watch Have Gun Will Travel
Oh yeah, so
occasionally.
he's
So
a
yeah,
decent looking guy, but he aged fast. Probably a lot of smoking and bad habits.
yeah,
Um, so then they're going to the headquarters of his business, and he's going into um, a press conference where he's talking about there's going to be some kind of an expedition that's going to be really big. And then Frankie, the Joan Van Art character, walks up to him and she introduces herself. And he blows her off thinking that she is a woman who just wants him, when actually she's a photographer who's been sent there by the press. So the next scene, we're in some kind of a lab in the company, and Maston walks in and he meets Chuck, played by Stephen Keats. And Maston asks him, "Are you the one who saw it?" And Chuck says, "Yes, I saw it from 500 feet. There's no mistaking that species." And being it's called the Last Dinosaur, you're probably guessing it wasn't a hedgehog. So anyway, he starts talking to the lab scientist, Dr. Kawamoto, and asks if they go forward, will it be in the interest? Kawamoto asks him, if we go forward with this, will this be in the interest of science? And Maston assures him this will be in the interest of science. We're not going on a hunt. We're going to film it. Okay.
Yeah, this famous big game hunter is definitely not going to hunt this thing.
Yeah. No, no. I mean, pictures are fine. Pictures are fine.
Pinky promise.
So then they all go to the press conference, and Frankie is there, the photographer, Joan Van Ark. And Masson says to the group, they've been drilling under the polar cap in the Antarctica. And on June 2nd, which happens to be my oldest sister's birthday, which has nothing to do with this movie, by the way, on June 2nd, a drill disappeared off the monitor. And Chuck was there. Chuck was the survivor. The rest of the people died. And Chuck says when they were drilling in Antarctica, they hit a volcanic basin. And so when they emerged in this like lagoon, in this volcanic basin, even though they're in the Antarctica, it's like 90 degrees. Pretty cool. And well, pretty hot, I guess. So Chuck says that they saw an enormous animal that ate the rest of the crew.
R.I.P. to those guys.
Oh, let's have a moment of silence to remember those crew
You're right.
members who
You're
never
right.
even made the movie. Okay. So Maston says it was a T-Rex, and he announces they're going back to find the animal. And he is asked if he is going to kill it. He says, no, it will be studied and photographed, just like I told Dr. Kamamoto.
He keeps lying.
Yeah. And then he says, and I've got my guy coming with me. Here is Bunta. And it's almost like a professional wrestling introduction.
No, this was the most unintentionally funny part. He comes up there and the whole crowd is like, oh, and they're taking pictures. And I'm like, wow, a tall black guy. What? Whoever saw such a sight? Get pictures of this freak. It was
so stupid.
Weird.
Yeah.
It was so weird, the reaction to this tall black man.
The introduction and the reaction was just like, okay.
Right?
It was like they had never seen a tall black man before. Obviously, they had never watched the NBA. So Bunta is going along with him, along with a person from the press, Poole, Chuck, and Dr. Kawamoto. So as he's leaving the press conference, Frankie introduced and is told that she would be going on the X. Frankie is introduced to him to Maston and told that she will be going on the expedition. And like any enlightened guy from the 70s says, not a woman. But she was chosen from the press pool. And he says, well, unchoose her. So Frankie says, that's okay. My dad was a misogynistic dick too, in some words. So the next scene, they're eating at this Japanese lunch dining area, and they're having lunch. And Maston offers a toast to a giant step backwards. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's so intelligent. You're going back in time. I see what you did, you joker. So Frankie offers him champagne. And then Frankie goes behind a tree and takes off her Japanese robe, her apparel, and throws it like she's disrobed. And then she emerges in a black evening gown. And Maston is really interested in her now.
Yeah, and I'm like, feminism? What?
Oh, we're gonna get into that with her. She got some issues, man. So uh, Maston apologizes to her for being rude, and I'm not sure if Maston apologized or if his penis did, but there was an apology there for being so rude to her. And she says that she's a hunter too, and she wants to track the T Rex. And Maston is amazed that she's a hunter because, after all, she's a female. How can you be a hunter? It's just not registering in my brain here.
How can hunt without penis?
Yes. So they talk guns while Chuck looks on at them. So Chuck's like checking her out while she's talking to Maston. So Maston offers her a lift home. She says, "Come in and see my pictures, big boy." And that's what she. So they go to Frankie's apartment and she lures him onto the bed and she kisses this ugly old man because he's rich. And then she starts a slideshow that shows off the photographs that she's taken that's won all these Pulitzer Prizes. And he's not happy. He thought that they were going in there to have sex. And she's just showing him all these pictures. And they're laying on bed and she's showing him these slideshow. And he says, "You are a crazy lady." And he says it like 6 more times during this movie.
Yeah.
Establish she's a crazy lady. Then they start kissing, implying that she says, "Okay, we can go ahead and have sex." So, next scene, we have a helicopter landing on an oil rig. And um, Frankie is asked, I really don't know how you talked the old man into it. She said, "Talent." So, her talent lies completely on her sexual skills, I guess.
Yeah,
Because
that's all women have going for them.
that's right. So then they enter the drilling capsule. And by the way, they spared no dime on making this look completely believable. They spared a lot of dimes on making this look. It looks like one of those plastic models we'd make as kids, but little
But
drill thing. Yeah.
for a TV movie, well, sort of, it looked better than I expected it to.
Yeah. The whole movie does have the feel of a Godzilla movie.
Yeah.
The moving, the miniatures. Yeah, it really does. So they enter the drilling capsule, and Masson asks, "Are you all in?" And they all said, "Yes." "Are you all in?" Meaning, now's your time to chicken out. They all say yes. So they drill through to the world of the volcanic basin. And then we're in this prehistoric world. And what do we see first? The worst birdemic looking pterodactyl you could see.
Yeah, it's not a great first image. That at that point I was kind of like, "Oh, okay, here we go. It's going to be like this."
Okay, a pterodactyl is technically a dinosaur, right?
I believe so. It's been a
Okay,
long time since I worked at the dino store. That's not a joke. I actually used to work at a dino store.
yeah. And all the dinosaurs would come in and buy stuff. So,
Yeah, I got to know them very personally. Yeah.
so why is this movie called The Last Dinosaur if there's more than one dinosaur in it?
There's another one later too.
Oh yeah, yeah, they're
No,
dinosaurs.
oh, the last dinosaur is a metaphor because Maston Thrust Jr. is the last dinosaur in a sense.
Oh, I see. Oh, I didn't have that in my notes. Um, so they take a raft to shore, and I think it's funny. It's 90 degrees in this place, and they're all dressed, knowing that it was going to be 90 degrees. They're all on long sleeves, leather jackets and stuff. I'm thinking, did you not dress for this? He told you it was 90 degrees there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
anyway,
and they're all in like these super white jumpsuits. I'm like, well, that's gonna get dirty immediately. Why did they choose white?
I don't know. I didn't even think of that, but you are correct. Not dressed for the weather and not dressed to emerge in a muddy lagoon.
No.
So they hear a noise around. And Maston says that's the sound of big game, like Monopoly or Yahtzee. Those are big games. So Chuck is looking through his binoculars and he sees a triceratops. So there's two dinosaurs there, and we haven't even got to the T Rex yet. So they scatter because a triceratops is coming at them, but Frankie is staying back, taking pictures of it as it keeps coming for her. And I know this. My mom used to tell me when I was little, Vince, if a triceratops ever charges at you, you get out of the way. Frankie did not have my mom because she's sitting there taking pictures.
That actually reminded me of the bit from um Jurassic Park 2, The Lost World, except those were stegosauruses, remember? And they're like, "Perk up," and Julianne Moore just, and then she reaches out to touch the baby, and you're like, "Lady, get back."
She got gonorrhea from Boogie Nights, so it affected her brain. Oh my goodness. This is no longer a kid's show. It's no longer a kid's show. But anyway, um, so Maston saves her before she is trampled. And he says to her again, "You are a crazy lady." Ah. And then Chuck chews Frankie out, and Maston puts Chuck in his place because he doesn't want to have sex with Chuck. He wants to have more sex with Frankie, so he stands up for her. So they make camp, and in the evening, Frankie asks if Buddha ever talks because he never talks. And he says no, and then Masson says the Bunta means owner of 100 wives and 1,000 head of cattle. I don't know if that's true or not.
I feel like it's probably not.
Probably not true.
It's
Okay.
just something racist that they made up, I'm
And
sure.
probably his mom said, call him Bunta. I mean, that's how I named you. I'll call you Tabitha. So
Yeah.
that's how those names go. So anyway, the pterodactyl swoops in on them, and nothing's more scary than a pterodactyl swooping in on you. But that was just for that. That was just a little tease that it's a little dangerous here. You're gonna see some dangerous things. You're gonna see drug deals. You're gonna see stuff like that. So the next day, Chuck, Bunta, Frankie, and Masson go out looking, and they leave the doctor to stay in camp. Chuck is looking at some plants through his binoculars, and he explains that the foliage he is looking at is thought to be extinct, which is exactly what happened with Laura Dern in Jurassic Park. When she's looking at the plants, she's saying, some of these species have been extinct for a long time. You don't know what you have here. And I'm thinking, Jurassic Park has seen this movie and borrowed that. That is too
Yes.
good.
Yes.
So
But I would like to say she said that about the plants before she saw the actual dinosaur. They've already seen dinosaurs. I don't think the plants are that impressive afterwards.
well, I'm not saying that The Last Dinosaur is a better movie. They got some stuff out of order, but I'm just
I'm,
saying Jurassic Park rearranged it. But it's basically the same movie.
you're
Same
so lucky
special
you guys
effects.
got Jurassic Park in the 70s.
No. So anyway, Chuck and Frankie have a tender look at that point, and then they find some T-Rex tracks, and they follow them. So Frankie is standing on a rock in the lagoon taking pictures, and all of a sudden the rock starts moving because it's not a rock, it's a big turtle, which has been done in like 10 other movies. So she falls in the water and she gets a big leech on her leg, and then they put salt on the leech and knock it off. And then they rub her leg, actually rubbing salt into the wound. Did you notice that?
Yes, I did. I kind of thought, I know this movie's not interested in this at all, but I'm thinking, man, this is prehistoric times. Who knows what you just got infected with? You're probably gonna die or lose that
Yeah,
leg.
I hadn't thought about that, but yeah, yeah. So after they get the leech off, Chuck hugs her. So Frankie, in the commotion, she leaves her handbag on the shore, and two I will call them prehistoric men. Uh, they're called savages in the movie, and I'll call them prehistoric men. So two prehistoric men, they find the bag and they discard it. And then this rogue prehistoric woman emerges. She's by herself and she takes the bag. She may be the first kleptomaniac. I don't know. So Bunta climbs up a tree, and then a T Rex pops up right behind him. And so Bunta, for a little bit, is kind of stuck in the tree with this T Rex right behind him. And then Bunta decides to get out of the tree. I guess he's not stuck in the tree. I'm thinking, why did you stay in the tree so long? All you had to do was climb down. And I don't know if you notice this from this shot. The trees are like 70 feet tall, and the dinosaur's another 30 feet. So suddenly this T Rex is 100 feet tall.
Yeah, I don't think they were quite that tall.
No, no. So Maston shoots the T Rex and really just does nothing but piss it off. And they
Like
outrun.
Mongo.
Yeah, yeah. So they outrun the T Rex because everybody knows that the slowest dinosaur was not the Bronchiosaurus or any legless. It was the T Rex who could not outrun a human being, apparently. So Masson takes the position that they need to shoot it dead and tells Frankie and Chuck to get out of here. I gotta shoot it dead. So Bunta and Masson challenge the beast. And then Maston's gun jams because in any good movie, a gun is going to jam, like Unforgiven, Misfire. Love that movie. So Bunta hits it with a spear because everybody knows that spears are what wiped out the dinosaurs.
Well, they don't jam. You got to
Yeah,
give them
that's
that.
right. So the T Rex leaves thinking, oh my gosh, he had one spear and he threw it. Maybe I should get away from here.
He's like, ouch, that hurts.
Yeah. So Chuck asked him, why are you trying to kill it? And Maston calls him the worst name I almost don't want to repeat it, but he calls him a ding dong.
I have that in my notes, and I said, watch your mouth. There are children watching this.
You could have thought of any harsh words that could still be said on television, but he called him a ding dong. You know, might as well call him a cupcake or a fruit pie or a Twinkie. You know, just
Right?
through
You
all
Pop
those
Tarts.
So Chuck accuses Masson of just wanting to kill it for a trophy, which made me think if he does kill it, how are they going to get it out of there?
You know, that's a good question.
There's no way, particularly being it ranges from like 25 feet to 100 feet in this movie. So
Yeah.
maybe they could shrink it down to about a foot. I don't know. But the prehistoric clan comes out again as they leave. And the prehistoric lady who took the purse, well, they come out, they look at the gun, and then they throw it down, and the scope comes off. And then the prehistoric lady, who's been just doing her own rogue thing, she goes out and she grabs the scope of the gun and puts it in her purse. So now we're back at camp, and the T Rex is spying on the doctor through the trees, Dr. Kamamoto. And the doctor is doing his science stuff, and the rest of them aren't back at camp yet. And the T Rex decides, hey, this will be fun. And he squishes him. He just steps on him and squishes him.
I noted that this is about 46 minutes in, and that's a lot of restraint before killing the first person of color, 1977. So good for you.
Yeah, very good. I hadn't thought about that. So, um, not only does he step on the doctor, he goes into the lagoon where the capsule is and picks it up with his mouth because they have little bitty hands and really can't do anything with him. So he picks it up and he kind of nudges it, tosses it, and he takes it to, I guess, his lair. he takes the capsule to his lair, which is just a bunch of like a boneyard, like a huge boneyard. And then he is trying to bury it kind of in a hillside, the best that a T-Rex can do with his little hands, you know. And while he's trying to bury it, suddenly a Triceratops pops out of the side of the hill. Who knew that they just hid in the sides of hills? He pops
Right?
out the side of the hills and he comes out to battle. And at first, you think the Triceratops is going to win because he rams all three of his tops into the T Rex and pulls it out,
Right?
and there is blood coming out. I mean, I'm thinking, oh man, you're in trouble, T Rex. But then the T Rex finds his second win, much like John Cena, and he rallies and he kicks the Triceratops' ass, and the Triceratops dies.
Couple things. Did you notice that the T-Rex roars like Godzilla?
He what? Roar.
Roars like Godzilla.
I didn't, but now that you mentioned, yeah.
Yep, that is the Godzilla roar. And second, I don't know if you remember the dinosaurs robots at our science center, but
Yes,
it
I
really
do.
reminded me of that because there's the dying Triceratops on the ground and then the big T-Rex over it with the slash marks on the Triceratops belly. And that's been like the staple of our local science center for 35 years.
Yeah, since probably before you were born. Yeah.
You cannot even put a Santa hat on the T-Rex at Christmas anymore because it will fall apart. It's incredibly old.
Wow.
That's what I was told when I worked there. We can't put the Santa hat on him anymore.
Yeah. So it's as old as Richard Boone. Yeah.
Yes, that's the last dinosaur.
Yes, there you go. So the rest of the gang gets back to camp and they see camp that's been completely destroyed. And they realize that Dr. Kawamoto is dead. So Frankie also finds that her camera has been destroyed. And Maston vows not to leave till he avenges Kawamoto's death, even if he has to build a weapon.
Even
Very
though he
good.
was going to kill it anyway. This is
Yeah,
just an excuse he needs.
yeah, that's right. And then they realize, hey man, the capsule's gone. Now, what would be your first thought? My first thought was if I would have thought it sank.
Yeah, yeah.
But they don't even like that doesn't cross their minds. They never, I wonder if it sank. Should we go in there and maybe see if we can find it? Oh, it's gone. Capsules sometimes disappear, I guess. So anyway, the capsule's gone. And Frankie says that they will be rescued when headquarters realizes that they are not coming back. And then Massa says, no, we're not going to be, they're not going to come looking for us because I told them and gave them orders that if we don't come back, don't risk another life looking for us. And Frankie cries because that's what women do.
And that's why women can't go on adventures.
That's
I
right.
mean, look at her just crying because she's stranded in Dino Land forever.
So so then we are back at headquarters. And by the way, headquarters is on the surface of the Antarctica. So it's not like somewhere out far. They're at the volcano basin and headquarters is up here in the freezing cold Antarctica. So um, headquarters says that they no longer have any contact with them. They are not getting signals from the capsule or anything. And they look at some pictures, I guess they got. They said the only thing they could see is dry sand and the presence of bone. So they're saying there was no contact, but then they said, but we do have pictures of sand and bone. It kind of lost me there. Did I miss something there?
I don't think so. I mean, honestly, the headquarters stuff never really accomplishes anything in the movie. I don't know. They're just filling out a runtime, cutting to those
Yeah.
scenes.
And those scenes do remind me of a Godzilla movie because they frequently do that. They cut to a lab
Yeah.
and they're all talking about Godzilla or Gamera or Mothra or Ghidra, not Ghidra, by the way. When I was growing up, it was Ghidra, the three-headed monster. And then I went to go see that Godzilla movie a few years ago. They called it Ghidra.
I'm sorry.
I can't take these name changes. So suddenly we cut. to a battle that they are having with the prehistoric clan. There's no build up to this or anything. Suddenly they're just battling.
Right? I thought it was gonna lead to like a tense first meeting or something because we keep seeing them, but the group doesn't see them. But no, no, they're just a fact of their life now.
Yep. And Maston notes that they have sharpened their sticks like spears because they've seen we have spears. So they've been having interaction. So they've been there for a
Yeah.
while now. And he says they are learning. And what this clan has done is killed a bunny rabbit, a little innocent bunny rabbit. And they took their kill back with them to eat because they're now battling over food with this prehistoric clan. So Maston says that they need to drive this prehistoric clan out of the caves for their own survival. And Maston says he's been thinking of making a weapon. And what guy isn't thinking of making a weapon? I think about it all the time, 24/7. Got to make a weapon. Got to make a weapon. And then Chuck does say that they have been there for 4 months. And now the savages, as they call them, are now fighting us for game, uh, or food, basically, not for monopoly. So Frankie says that they should try to tame the savages. He's a, what are you gonna do? Like roll over now, roll over? I don't know. It's just
It's
weird
not it's not good.
verbiage
Yeah.
they use. Yeah. So they are hungry, but they keep getting challenged every time there's game around by the clan, and the clan seems to be getting all the food. So Frankie and Chuck get into an argument, a heated argument, and then they decide to make out,
As you do.
as you do.
Yeah.
So Maston wants to know what she's doing. She, I've had the old man. Now I'm going for the younger guy, I guess. I don't know. So Frankie the
I mean,
feminist in the first 2 minutes of the movie is now Frankie the, oh, I'll sleep with anybody. And oh my gosh, I'm a delicate flower.
well, if you've been out there for 4 months, you know, you get needs. And do you want to bang the old man? Yeah, yeah, he may be rich, but that doesn't do you a lot of good in Dino Land. So yeah, you're for the younger guy.
I see your point there, but she's not done.
No, she's not.
So uh, Bunta and Maston are making a weapon, like guys do. And Frankie wakes up and sees that the tribe is approaching their camp. And the weapon that they make is a crossbow, which is a cool weapon. I've always wanted a crossbow, not to shoot people, just to shoot into a tree or something. So Frankie ties a ribbon around Maston's arm for good luck and kisses him. Wait a minute, you're just making out with Chuck, and now you're kissing the old man again.
But it was a cheat kiss. That's a we're just friends kiss.
Yeah, we'll
That's a
get back
pity
to
kiss.
that. So anyway, they approach the clan, and the clan is pelting them with rocks. And then Maston shoots, who appears to be the head clan member, uh, with this crossbow and kills him. And the rest of the clan runs off in fear when they realize that their leader is dead and that this weapon is more powerful than them throwing rocks, I guess. So then the prehistoric woman appears again, and she has been watching the whole battle. And then it changes the scene where now they're up the mountain a little bit where it's freezing, I guess for protection. And the prehistoric woman shows up at their camp, and Frankie tosses her food to feed her, and they name her Hazel, and I guess they tame her. I don't
Tamer.
know. So now Hazel is with them in camp, and the men bring home some game, and then it gets campy and misogynistic really bad. You know, what's she doing here? Um, so in the evening, the woman sneaks in the cave, and she gives Maston back his rifle scope. It was very tough to see what was going on because it was so dark in that scene.
Mm-hmm.
But then we find out that she gave him his rifle scope back. So in the next scene, Frankie is washing her hair in water, and suddenly they're not on the mountain anymore. I don't know the whole mountain why it was necessary. So she teaches Hazel how to brush her hair, or she tames Hazel and how to brush her hair, and she has Hazel rinse her hair, and then suddenly, after being absent from the movie for a long time, the T Rex shows up again.
Which Hazel Hazel's hair would be not that easy to brush, but it just goes right through that that wig.
You're
And
right.
I'm like, she hasn't brushed her hair in her entire life. That's no, that's not gonna happen like that.
Maybe she had some cream rinse beforehand.
Maybe.
Except brush go right through. So the T Rex is standing there, and one of the funnier moments that doesn't intentionally mean to be funny, Frankie just runs right between T Rex's legs and runs into camp. Like he can step on the doctor, but you can run right between his, and she wasn't running fast. She just kind of between his legs.
And
And then
her scream really made me laugh too. It sounded both fake and shrill at the same time.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And by the way, I, I don't, I, Joan Van Art cannot act, or she, at least in this movie, I think she just mailed it in. I wonder why.
I
I
was
know
gonna
Richard
say,
Boone just mailed it in.
if you got handed this script, what would you do? You'd be like, well, I'm gonna do it. I want to get
How much
paid, but
money?
oh
Do
yeah.
I have to try? No. All right, I'll do it.
But I have to kiss Richard Boone, you say?
Yeah. So maybe throw an extra 20 in for that. Okay. So she runs into a cave, to the cave, and then the men come running up. They see that the T Rex is at the cave, blocking Frankie in. They send Buta to tell him to get 200 yards of vine. You need to go get 200 yards of vine. And within no time, he's got 200 yards of vine. It's just amazing.
Boonta can do anything, I guess.
Yes. So Buta approaches the Rex and he lassos the T Rex's tail with the vine. And then they have it tethered to a big stone. So the stone starts rolling down a hill while it's still tied to the T Rex's tail. And so then when the tension gets there, the T Rex falls on his butt and it gets drug away from this rolling stone.
It's so funny. He gets just yoinked. And then he is so embarrassed by this that he walks off.
Yeah, yeah. So the men go to the cave and find Frankie, and Chuck comforts her. And Maston now wants to go after the dinosaur. And he argues that it's either us or him or her. I don't know what sex the dinosaur is. And then, for no reason at all, he yells at Hazel. I don't know why. He said, get out of here. She's like, oh, man. Of course, she doesn't speak, but I know what she's thinking. What the F is wrong with you, old man? That dies soon
Yeah.
anyway. So they find the trail of the T Rex, and Maston says that they need a missile from a catapult. So they build a catapult, which is
Somehow.
genius. And then they hollow out some gourds and they take powder from bullets and they make little bombs out of them. And then in another funny scene, uh, Chuck and Bunta together lift this huge boulder that's probably 800 or 1,000 pounds. Just the two of them lift it onto the catapult.
Well, I think it was probably all Boonta, and
Yeah,
Chuck was like, I'm helping.
oh, we've all been there. You help your friends move, and you're like, I'm helping. When literally you're like, nah, they're doing all the work. I've just got my hands under here.
You know what? That happens to me at work all the time. I work with all guys, and when we have to lift something heavy, yeah, I'm not afraid to let them do most of the work.
Hey, I once had to help a friend move a piano. I didn't have to. I stupidly agreed to, not knowing that pianos are tremendously heavy. I helped a friend move a piano from an apartment to his apartment, and we had to go upstairs. It was the worst thing. I thought I was going to die. And I was young and in shape then. I was like 22, 23.
Oh
Then
my
another
god.
time, I had to carry a pinball machine with three other guys up to a second floor. I didn't know pinball machines were that heavy. They are very heavy too. But
Jeez.
that has entirely nothing to do with this movie. Besides, boulders are also heavy. So they wait, and Chuck and Frankie are scared due to Maston's obsession to kill Rex. And Chuck finds the boneyard, and he hears Rex roar. And then he comes back screaming to the group that he found the capsule. He found the capsule. And he says, let's go get it and leave. And Maston says, they won't go until we get Rex, till we get the T Rex.
Right? Like, no, not before kill. I am
Yes.
man.
So Frankie and Chuck go to the capsule, leaving Bunta and Maston. And Maston, for some unknown reason, Hazel's there. Get out of here. He runs her off again.
Yeah, he
Why
runs
do you have to
Hazel
be
off
that way to her?
right? Well,
She returned your scope, you jerk.
right. And also, he says before Frankie and Chuck run off, he says after we kill Rex, then we talk about leaving. What is there to talk about, my dude?
I don't know.
Like, I'm leaving.
Now, I want to parenthetically say this is where the music really started to get annoying because every slightly emotional or exciting, and I mean slightly, change in tone, bum 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 bum, that
Yeah.
cheesy cue music like, oh, I didn't know that this was supposed to be a biting scene, but the music let me know. So that was starting to get a little aggravating for me.
Oh, yeah. Also, when they leave, first of all, Frankie doesn't even say goodbye to Hazel, which I'm like, I thought you were bonding earlier, but I guess not. And Maston is like, he's like straight up going to murder them when they run off. And
Oh
Bunta's
yeah,
like, put that down.
yeah,
Don't do that, man. And he's like, oh yeah, I guess I shouldn't murder them.
yeah. So somehow Chuck and I guess Frankie they get this capsule from 2 miles away, by the way, to the lagoon. I guess capsules are made out of paper
Well,
because
that one is, yeah.
yeah. So they get it to the lagoon somehow, and Chuck amazingly gets this capsule to work. And he tells Frankie, "Hey, we can leave in a few hours." And Frankie says that she has to say goodbye to Maston first. And Chuck is just livid at the suggestions. First of all, we got a thing going now, and you still got a thing going with him. And I'm getting a little ticked off about this whole thing here. Thought you were a feminist, but you're obviously not.
For a
And
feminist written by men in the 70s, that's
yeah,
what she
I
is.
guess you're right. So Frankie says they need to at least try to get Maston to come, which she's
Which
done a
I
few
thought they
times.
already did that, and he said no, but okay.
Uh, so Chuck says if she is not back within an hour, he is coming to get her. So then we go to another scene back at headquarters, and they said that they have 6 hours before they completely give up. Headquarters is saying we got 6 hours before we completely give up. So I don't know. It's been like 6 months and 6 hours. I don't know. So Maston and Bunta are at camp, and Bunta spears Rex, and Rex apparently stomps him. We don't see the stomp, but it's implied that he stomped.
Yeah, that was inevitable. They weren't going to let the black guy live, but
Oh
he
yeah, yeah,
lasted quite a while. So,
yeah. So so Frankie shows up at camp and implores Maston to leave with them. And he says, I have a better idea. You stay here with me. Adam and Eve will repopulate. It's a very creepy scene. And she doesn't act like it's creepy. She says, oh, that's a perfectly normal request.
yeah, which yeah, like, well, we could just make love. What else is there? I'm like,
Oh,
what
yeah?
else is there besides hunting and sex? A lot of things actually, and I would like to get back to them.
Yeah, we can make love and hunt. Then she says, if you come back with me, I'll gladly go with you anywhere. And they kiss.
Ugh.
So and then Rex interrupts, and Masson sets off the catapult with this huge boulder in it and hits Rex in the head. You can actually see the rubber and then kind of dent in and pop back
It's
out. It's kind of funny.
it's hilarious. It's just boing. It's so funny looking.
Uh, so the T Rex collapses, And then he gets his ass right back up and comes after them. Ha ha, big boulders to the head doesn't bother me. I'm coming to get you. Frankie runs, and Masson throws these bombs that he's made out of boards at the T Rex, but they don't phase the T Rex. And Masson hides with Frankie in a cove, and T Rex is trying to stop them out. And then Chuck, the real hero, comes back. Rex is gone and says they have, and Chuck says, we have to leave now. We only have enough juice if we leave now. So Frankie implores Masson to leave because I don't want to stay here and make love and hunt with you. And then we ship back to headquarters. They grant permission to raise anchors and leave. And then they get a signal. Oh, wait a minute. Something's happening down there. So Masson walks to the lagoon and watches Frankie and Chuck get in the capsule. He nods them off. And then Hazel emerges and goes off with Maston. Because I have to admit, compared to the other men in the clan, Maston does look a little bit better. At least
Yeah, I'm like, I guess they're buddies now. Or
yeah.
oh, also, a couple things. Maybe I'm a bad person, but if I were Chuck, I would have left her there. Like I'd already be gone. Sorry, she had her chance. And that is the scene where Maston refers to himself as the last dinosaur before she leaves. So it's all very deep.
Very deep. Very deep. Don't watch this movie unless you've taken a graduate course in sociology and psychology because it is that deep.
Yes.
So then you hear Rex roar and the movie is over. It isn't really over because 3 years later, Richard Boone is the first Hollywood actor who ever been eaten by a dinosaur. And that's how he died. So, Tabitha, give me your thoughts on The Last Dinosaur.
It was better than I expected it to be. It clearly had more money than your average telefilm because it was meant for theaters, but it's goofy, it's sexist, it's racist. It's just silly. I mean, if I had seen it as a kid, I would probably have a lot of affection for it though. Because I can see how a kid would be like, ooh, the magic.
Do you think I saw it as a kid?
Yes, I do.
I most definitely did. 10 years old, me and my friend Terry, we see the little clip. And I think it was on like a Friday night or a Saturday night. We were so excited. Oh man, Last Dinosaur, you know. And they showed in the clip in the trailer him fighting Triceratops. You're like, oh, that's gonna be so cool. And then I watched it and I realized that there's only one real cool fight scene that didn't last that long. And probably the next cool scene was her getting a leech. I mean, it was like kind of a disappointment. So, yeah, I did see this as a kid, and this is the first time I've seen it since a kid, and it was even worse than I remember. So, are we going to give this a classic or a trash it?
Seems harsh to outright trash it, but it's not a classic, so I will trash it. Yeah.
I've got to give it a trash it. This is our first trash it,
It is.
and but it is. It's kind of a in a campy way. It's a fun movie to watch. You will be entertained.
Yeah, at least listen to the song.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
implore you.
Yes, but you will understand why it got snubbed at the Emmys, which was a big controversy in 1977. So now, in 2 weeks, it will be October. We are going to do all TV horror films in October. Boo! Scary, isn't it?
It's so scary.
So, Tabitha, what are we going to watch next week?
Well, I'm going to get us started a little early. We are going to watch John Carpenter's Someone's Watching Me.
Someone's watching me.
And you can watch that on Tubi.
Isn't that the song by Rockwell from the mid 80s? I always feel that somebody's watching me. Do you know who sings?
Unrelated, but yes.
Do you know who sings the chorus in that song?
No.
Michael Jackson.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
At that time in the mid 80s, Michael Jackson was huge, about 8 foot tall then. He was huge. He was like Boone. Come out, we go, wow. Well, thank you for joining us. And next week, we will be watching Somebody's Watching Me. Is that what it's
Someone's
called?
watching me. Yeah.
Someone's watching. So maybe I need to write that down so I don't watch the video. Someone's watching me. Someone.
Yeah, you're gonna be like, well, that was really short. I don't have much to say.
All right, so we'll start our Scare Fest next week. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week.
Bye.